You have award slides, so you're good. I like that. I think it would be good if we could do that. Also, it would be good if we could have award slides. It's, you know, it's only the third week of every month, so. Okay. Yeah, I love Becky, so she can't be feeling shy. There you go. All right, let's get started. Good morning. My name is Robin. I am the team leader at the Cottonwood Heights Utah Realtors office, in case there's anyone here I haven't met. Liza and I are having a Freaky Friday experience on a Tuesday and decided to switch market centers for the day. And so she is at Utah Realtors presenting the team meeting there, and I get to hang out here with all of y'all. So thank you for being here. Thank you for braving the snow. And I think we start with bucket list. Is that right? All right. Who wants to share the love?
Need to thank Chris for doing an open house for me. Emily for showing buyers for me while I was gone. Clayton for doing an open house for me while I was gone. And if I've forgotten anybody else, I apologize, but thank you all very much.
I want to thank Jen Bowen for holding an open house for our team. And I also wanted to thank Lee for just always being a shining smiley face for me to talk to.
Thanks to Brandy for holding my grand opening this week in West Jordan. So appreciate you.
And thank you to Barb for holding our open house on Saturday. And it's just wonderful to be able to, if we're not available to do our own open houses, have people in the office to reach out to. So thanks to all of you who are willing and able to do that.
I just need to highlight John Jordan. Right, absolutely. Before I left that day, I walked by the video room, and here was John in there doing his first YouTube. And I said to him, "Oh my God, John, you can still teach old dogs new tricks." And I was speaking of both of us, but here's John, never having done YouTube, never done, and he's doing this Do It With You program, and he's in there videotaping, and I just was proud as punch of him. So congrats.
Just piggybacking on that, there were probably 15 people after the class that had come in and done the filming. And I mean, every single one of them, I was super proud of. Not most of them had never done anything like that before. So the fact that you guys are doing the work and getting things out, I'm just incredibly proud of you. And I can't wait to see what happens in 1 year when we have this conversation about how's your business.
We'll announce it and we'll go. I want to thank Brandy for giving this to me, saying such nice things about me. Professional. I am terrible at talking in front of crowds. I'm a nervous wreck right now. I woke up several times during the night trying to figure out words to say for the next person that I'm giving it to, and nothing came to mind. So I This person is amazing, and I know most of you know this person. And I don't know. All I know is that they are she and he are the epitome of KW culture. I was trying to give it just to one person, but with Rick and Marita, they're joined at the hip, so I have to give it to both of them because they are both amazing. Everybody. Together, intent, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment, communication, speak first and understand. Creativity, ideas, results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunity. Success results through people.
Annie took all my prep time, so. I love it. I'm seriously not prepared to be up here, and I never am. But what's your feeling about the market right now? I was talking to Rick Marine. What's your feel of the market right now? John? Yeah, uncertain. Uncertain. Okay. That sounds like a normal market, isn't it? Concerned about your listing selling?
Yeah.
I mean, when I take a listing, generally speaking, I'm concerned if it sells, right? So what's different? What's different? Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing all kinds of things from agents, and I'm having this conversation not only in like with Rick and Marita and my nonprofit that are with me, but literally that question is being asked by everybody. Yesterday, I was in a meeting, I had the Vice President of Goldman Sachs sitting on one side, I had a credit union guy on the other side, and they asked me, Dave, what are interest rates going to do? And I'm like, they're going up unless they come down. And that literally is the market right now, guys. You know, if there's some uncertainty, it's shared by everybody. But is that uncertainty stopping you from doing what you know needs to be done? You're uncertain if your listing is going to sell. Is it going to stop you from marketing? Okay. Are you going to stop marketing so you can discuss if the sky is falling or if it's not? I'm hearing some weird conversations out there. And it's all the way across the board. It's from agents, it's from brokers, it's from lenders, it's from title people, it's from whatever. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I do know that 6% rate beats the hell out of 17. Okay. Might not be as good as 2 or 3, but 2 or 3 wasn't healthy. And now we're at a place where we've got a healthy market. We've got change in some things that probably need some changes. A little fast, the gas pedal is a little out of control. But people are not working because they want to talk. Go to work. Linda's absolutely right. Get excited about this year. You know, this has the opportunity to be an incredible year if you work. And while you're working and those other people are talking about whether or not the sky is falling, those are more opportunities for you, right? It's a good market, guys. It's a good market. There's inventory up a little bit. I listed a house. I listed a house on Friday. Do we have any show me the homes reps in here? They screwed up on the pictures. We didn't get it listed across the MLS until Saturday. One showing, one offer, full price. I did that, and I also didn't have to worry about it.
He's gone ahead and done the mic drop moment. Dave. That was good. All right, Marita.
The life out of the meeting, Dave. Awesome. Okay, so some of you might recognize the name here, Tammy Slay. Slay, as in our own Audrey Slay. Tammy is doing it's going to be presented here in the training room. It's a Zoom meeting. She's teaching you how to use Etsy for real estate. We think of Etsy as storefronts, right? How is she using it for real estate? So another idea, another way for you to be able to reach out and be on all the platforms, getting in contact with all the people wherever they are. So super excited about this. Anything you want to tell us about this? I mean, do you know anything?
So my mom, she's a broker owner in Texas, and she's been in real estate for probably 15, 20 years by now. And her biggest thing is her top 50 in her SOI database. And Etsy is one of those new programs she's launched this past year. And she's made so many connections through it. And she just really loves to put the work back into her SOI. And that's the main thing she focuses on. So she's putting this out there, kind of train other real estate agents on how to succeed with their SOI as well. Yes.
Today at 12:30.
Yes.
So after team meeting here.
It's an hour.
1 hour class. Okay, what else do we have? CMA and absorption reports. So Wednesday, this is part of Josh's series that he's been doing training with us. These are the conversations around pricing, around marketing. I mean, around the discussions you want to have. Josh, tell us about it.
A masterclass on absorption reports. So this is, I mean, new agents can come to this, but this is really geared towards people who have been in business, you know, have a career in real estate. So learning how to actually use numbers to drive dialogue and help, you know, help our sellers make informed decisions. But especially given the changes that we've had in the market, I mean, it's been a nonstop changing market really since like 2015, 2016. Some of this stuff is going to be really, really useful in the kind of dialogue that you have. This is going to be almost nothing about CMAs. This is literally going to be a masterclass in absorption reports.
Awesome. Which is going to help you as you are prepping for listings, as well as in the process of the listing and servicing the listing, and making sure that we're keeping an eye on where the price tag is and where it needs to be.
Well,
So-
in our last ALC meeting, if I can jump in, Marita, we talked with the agents on the ALC about what they're observing in the market. And depending on the segment of the market that they work, there was different variances, but the one thing that was universal across all of the agents, all of their businesses, all of the segments of the market is properties that are priced right are selling quickly. Properties that are not priced right are sitting. They're not getting offers that get them to the right price. They're not getting offers, period. And that seems to be the case over 2 million. That seems to be the case in the lower price points. And so really understanding these absorption reports, really understanding how to have these conversations with your clients is a critical skill right now.
So Josh's class Wednesday noon, 12 to 1:30. So this class, he's going to be holding it at the Utah office. It will be Zoomed here. We encourage you to go in person though. So much more powerful in person. Okay. And immediately afterwards, in both locations, we'll have a Command Basics class where Makai and Isaiah will be coming in and teaching you about your CRM platform, how to use it for, let's see, what do we talk about? They're going to be doing neighborhood nurture, consumer app, how to be using that, keep in touch with your client space as well. And Thursday, Audrey's going to teach you how to read a P&L. How many of you have a P&L? How many of you know how to read it? Oh, well, most of you. Good, good. Come on and learn how to track the numbers that run your business so that you know it's not just about how many transactions you do, it's about how much money you keep as well as what you earn. what day was that? That was Thursday.
Thursday at Midvale.
At mid, and that's also at Utah.
Yep.
And it is at noon, right?
Yep.
Okay, Thursday at noon. ALC meeting is Thursday here at 2 from 2 to 3:30. Anyone is welcome to attend the ALC meeting and watch how the board, the Agent Leadership Council, the discussions they have. If you're visiting, you're just an observer, not a participant, but you can come and watch. Immediately after ALC, we will have the wind down. And Samantha, I don't see Kirsten here. Oh, so tell us what's happening for wind down. We're gonna drink wine. And I think we're gonna play games. She said she's bringing games in. So we're gonna have game nights and games. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, and it's a chance for you to kind of informally have just relax and kind of let your hair down a little bit. 4 o'clock Thursday. Servicing listings. So once you've had the class on absorption reports, the class Josh is doing Friday at noon is now how to have those conversations with your sellers. Either as you've got a house on the market, if you're John and we're worried about whether or not that house is going to sell, these are the conversations around price, around what we're going to do to make sure and take care of that. Yeah, any comments, Josh, on that? Okay, well I saw they fit together perfectly. I was like, it makes perfect sense to me.
This week is Midvale week, KW Utah week. So those 3 of these classes are essentially being done over there. Please don't be afraid. I've met nothing but nice people over there, and they will welcome you. And they also have a lot of space to work in too. So if you just want to be over there doing the work for the day, no problem.
Great training. And Isaiah rocks, and he's the DFI over there. He's totally awesome. Okay, next week, super awesome, big hitting classes. Tuesday, in place of team meeting, we have the AI Summit. And how many of you signed up for that already? Okay, awesome. That quadrant of the room are the cool kids who are all going to the AI Summit. So this is, we're going to be learning about, it's a big class talking about how AI is being used, progressions and advancements. I sent something to Boyd last week that I saw where there's an AI program that can overlay county zones along with what your client is looking for and tell you whether or not your client can have the development they want in that particular area. So super cool things that are happening. So we'll get to learn more about that kind of thing. Shoni's doing it?
Yes.
Yeah, the value of this. This is worth $1,000. Your cost is $35. So sign up, go to that. That's next Tuesday, 9 a.m. And where is that? That's at the Free Enterprise Center at Slick. Okay, it's in Sandy there. Okay, so Tuesday at 9 to 12. Okay, Wednesday, Logan Motashami, Utah Association of Mortgage Professionals, is bringing him in to talk about his forecasts. He's a Housing Wires analyst, and he would not have asked Dave what the interest rates are going to do. So he's the guy that everybody goes to and asks what the interest rates are going to do. This class includes 1 hour of CE, includes lunch, $30 a person, and the venue has changed. If you had seen that it was at the Zion's campus, that link should take you to the updated location. So that's Wednesday. Not tomorrow, next week, next Wednesday. So we have Tuesday, we have the AI Summit. Wednesday, we have Logan Motashami. And then there's something else big. Yeah, nice bites for you to have for your clients. Conversation. Diana Kokoska, April 3rd. Okay. Lee was telling us last couple of weeks ago how great she is, which is fabulous. So she has a new book called Breakthrough, and that's included with your $28 price of admission.
So I think that goes along with what Dave was talking about today, about what's our mindset, what are we thinking? You know, our clients are reading the headlines, and the headlines are always the scary stuff. It isn't true. This is all about getting your head right And we haven't had our heads like this, I think, in a long time. So I do encourage you to come.
Yes, we got
You know if that's been done, Robin. So that maybe.
Yep.
We'll
April
include all
3rd.
of these links for all of these classes that's going to come.
Awesome. And the Luxury Summit Syndicate. You all know that Liza's got a big, strong background in luxury. She is bringing in a once a month mastermind for luxury agents. Just talk about she's bringing in speakers and powerhouse people in the industry, helping us with our luxury presence and our luxury business. Our first one, March 28th, which is next Friday. Next Friday from 9 to 11:30 a.m. I can't remember where that's going to be. Is it?
It's at KW Utah right after that. Lee's going to do her listing presentation again.
We had them all here last time. Last week they were all here, and so next week they're switching over there. So. Yeah, so awesome. Yeah, so this will be 9 to 11:30 next Friday, and right after Lee's class is probably at noon. Okay. Okay, awesome. There's our calendar. Click on that, pull it up in your own calendar and save it. You can always see what's going on in both of the offices, which is really awesome. And see you guys at some classes.
And then Liza also just wanted to let everyone know she's going to be starting up a weekly Friday luxury mastermind to kind of get everyone incorporated with the match day. So match day emails go out at 10 a.m. every Friday. So she's going to meet here with donuts 9 a.m. on Friday, and she'll train you up on how to be successful with those match days.
Save the date. All here. So casino night, April 12th. We really, really, really need you guys to start RSVPing how many tickets you're gonna have. Really hard to make accommodations. Don't know. And then also really need some sponsors. So please reach out to all of your SOI and like to sponsor a table or anything like that. We also need some raffle things. We're asking for a $50 or higher value.
Is the best way to RSVP emailing y'all and doing the link?
Yes.
I think it's gonna be River Oaks. So I think that's where it's gonna officially land. February Packers. too good, and now I'm gonna have to go see like a massage therapist or something. All right, and then we have luminary.
Thank you. Thank you. So I woke up today after yesterday was 65 and I was walking on a golf course and my house had 7 inches of snow. And what are we doing? So I wanted to share with you a little bit, as the weather is being a little bit crazy. So it was kind of what's going on with the market and kind of what Dave was talking about. And I'm sharing you a little bit of insights and stuff. One of the things that we're talking about right now is the Fed meeting tomorrow. So the Fed meets and talks about changing the interest rate. Those aren't mortgage rates. Those are just the interest rates the bank loans money, but it does affect the mortgage industry, which affects you guys. One of the things they're looking at when they have these meetings is GDP. So GDP, this is the estimate for Q1 right now, the first quarter of 2025. It's not accurate yet because it's missing some data points, but you can see that we're in a negative territory. So the GDP that we had in the third quarter of last year, I think it was a little bit over 3%. Then fourth quarter, it was in the 2% range. And now we're seeing negative estimates. It'll probably end either flat or in that, under 1% range. Really what that means is there's like a drawing slowdown in the market. And we're seeing it across the board with JOLTS reports, meaning how many job openings are there, what the job market is doing, all these other things that are affecting what we're looking at. A recession is if you have, the definition of a recession is if you have 2 quarters in a row with a negative GDP number. So this is a very important number that comes out. This is a very important number that we track. Meaning if we go that direction, we would see reduction in interest rates, and actually that kind of helps you guys. So recession doesn't mean people stop buying houses. In fact, to the contrary, most of the time through recessionary spots, real estate actually is a place where you see a lot of money flow in, because what's happening is market contraction and stocks and other things, and they're looking for safe avenues for that money as far as investors. And then also interest rates come down, which kind of generates more activity in the market as well. So recession doesn't mean, we're out of a job. It really actually means there's a likelihood of an increase in production, which goes back to what Linda was saying. I also think that this is going to be a really strong year as far as what you guys are doing. If we look at what we were looking at this last week, if you look at what mortgage-backed securities are doing, we're still kind of in that small downward trend over the last couple of weeks, but that's a pretty stable thing. Market movement is pretty regular. We added these QR codes so you guys can share some of this data. If you have specific questions about it, please come see us later so that anything specific. And this is our 10-year treasury measure. We were talking a little bit about how there's a correlation between that and mortgage rates. And we're seeing a little bit of an increased turn, but that's why tomorrow's Fed meeting is so crucial, specifically what they're going to talk about with their balance sheet runoff and other things. I won't bore you with it, lots of random details, but it is a market mover, so we might see some motion that's happening this month. I wanted to share something that we're doing for the realtors that we work with. This is good for buyers and for your listings as well. So this is called a real estate report card. I use data for Mill Creek, so where we are right now. This is a projection of what is going to happen to us over the next 5 years, coupled with historical appreciation. The data comes from a gentleman called Barry Habib. If you follow markets and you listen to Alan Barry's, the #1 forecaster for real estate predictions like 4 years in a row. I just won another award. So he's very, very accurate in what his predictions are. And this is a great tool for a buyer that's on the fence. Home prices are going to go down. I'm going to wait because I want my house to be that I buy to be cheaper. And I know you guys have that conversation with buyers all the time. This is kind of a tool to show them, no, if you look at the appreciation that we've had, and you can't see, but that's the last 60 years. 4.5% a year is the average appreciation. That's why it's such a safe long-term investment. In the last 5 years, even with the turmoil that we've seen, we're still at a 7.5% appreciation in Mill Creek over those last 5 years. And in the next 5 years, we're anticipating an average of about 4.6% appreciation. So we could do this specifically for an address that you have. So if you have a listing, you're doing an open house and you're trying to have some data for people that are coming in, we can co-brand it with you on there. One of our loan officers will actually come to your open house and do pre-approvals on the spot if that's something you want to do. So come talk to us. Tori is in the office over there most of the time, so she's happy to answer your questions and kind of how to brand this and how to help you guys get some more activity. This is our referral tracker one more time. If you didn't get it before, there's posters around the office, and there's one actually on our office door as well. And this is where you can set up your referral system. You can track your referrals later. You can go in and kind of see what we're doing. You can see notes on your referrals, and you can always kind of track it. So, okay, and then mortgage myth of the day. What is, and I know these are kind of silly, but what is the minimum credit score required to qualify for a mortgage? And yes, we want you to stay in your lane, but what do you think? What's the minimum credit score you need? 640, 520, 540, 420. I don't know if they go down that low. Do they go that low? Luckily, I've never seen a 420. Not in real estate. Okay, so I just closed a loan and they didn't have a credit score. Let's not get specific. It's an FHA product, but the point is back to what Dave always talks to you guys about. Stay in your lane. Just because someone told you my credit score is not good enough, that doesn't mean they can't find a product. FHA loan limits in Salt Lake County are extremely high. They're in the 600s, right? Or high five. I don't remember. They changed it just like 2 months ago. So they're pretty high, and you could probably qualify for most first-time home buyers, even if they don't have a credit score. This is also applicable for people that love having no debt. I don't know if you realize, but if you pay off all your debt, you don't have a credit score anymore. So if you're like, I have no debt, I'm debt free. Woo-hoo! Well, that means you can't actually acquire financing and other parameters because you don't have a credit score. So there's actually products even with no credit score. So no matter what your borrower says, your buyer says, tell them there are options for everybody, and we're happy to talk to anyone that you have that's.
My understanding of your team leader moment is that Liza shares some great strategies with you. And the match day strategy, like I'm telling you, between match day and Josh's MRE book series, I almost want to get back into production. There is so much proven, creative, powerful strategy out there. And the purpose of strategy, I would say, is to get to success, right? That's why you care about the strategy. Okay. The problem with the focus exclusively on strategy is it's sort of like pouring a bunch of flour into a bowl and wondering why it didn't turn into chocolate. It is an ingredient. It's an essential ingredient. And if you try to make that cake without that flour, but it is only one part of it. So I would suggest the other two pieces, the other critical ingredients that have to be in place to take you to success are your state and your story. So state plus story plus strategy equals success. So today for my team leader moment, I'm not going to focus on the strategy because I feel like you've got a whole lot of that in your wheelchair. And if you're not plugging into Josh's series, if you're not taking on match day, please. I'm going to take just a moment to talk about state. Who knows what I mean when I'm referring to state? State of mind, that's a part of it. What else? Your physical health. Just your physical presence and well-being. So I'm a football fan. I'm a Washington Commanders fan, so I've spent a few decades being a very sad fan, and now I'm a happy fan. So I'm a football fan, and I know that before my boys get out on the field, they have a whole thing that they go through. They don't walk into the locker room like Mondays, am I right? They don't have kind of idle chit chat. They're not, clutching that cup of coffee to get through the morning. They are putting themselves in the state that they need to be in to go out and do the job that they have to do. And the state that they're putting themselves in, I imagine, is very different than the state that they're in when they're hanging out with friends or when they're done at the end of the day. But they are putting themselves consciously into the state that they know they need to be in to win. They have a discipline with that state. And if you haven't considered what state you need to be in to win, when you are going into an appointment, when you are headed to make your phone calls, when you are walking in the door of your office, I would challenge you to stop and think about it, because our roles, our careers are very similar to athletes in that way. If you are in a peak state, your conversations are going to be more powerful. You are going to be more alert and ready to take on the opportunities that come by. You're going to be more likely to see the opportunities when they appear. So that's your state. Let's talk about your story. What's your story? What's this part of the equation? Story you tell yourself. I'm not gonna write it all up there, but where you came from, story you tell yourself, what you believe. Your story is going to be what you focus on, and it is going to be your fixed beliefs. And some of those fixed beliefs that you have may be helping you. You may have a fixed belief about, so Boyd Brown, for example, has a fixed belief, everything works out for Boyd. And it's so much a fixed belief that his family will say, well, everything works out for Dad, everything works out for Boyd. So that's a fixed belief that's serving you. But might it be possible that you have some fixed beliefs that are not serving you? Yeah. I'm not talking to the one unique room in the world where they have no fixed beliefs. So if it was just about strategy, when I was overweight, I would have had no problem dropping that weight. Because I have strategy. Less, work out more, take my vitamins, drink my water. So I had all of those components. But there were things, fixed beliefs, stories that were getting in the way. And it's something that I have observed, that the things that we will sometimes label as discipline or taking action or not taking action or luck are usually tied to a pretty deeply embedded story. So I'd love for all of you to grab a piece of paper, grab your phone, and identify what is one goal, what is one success that you want to achieve that you haven't yet. My hands still hurt from all that practice. Like a whole lot of success goals that have been achieved in this. But what I find is that the different areas of your life, you'll sometimes have stories that are impacting you differently. So this goal that you're working towards, it doesn't have to be a business goal. It can be. But I absolutely work with agents that I know any business goal they set, they're going to knock it down, no problem. Nothing gets in their way. That doesn't mean that translates to the goals that they have for their health, for their relationships, for their personal growth. So this gets to truly be something that matters to you and something that you've been striving for and have not yet achieved. Okay, then I'd like you to just take a few minutes and think about what are the stories that you're telling yourself about this. And you might start with, if I were to ask you, why haven't you achieved that? What would you tell me? It's just a story. Not the capital T truth about what you have. Why haven't you achieved this goal? And if you're sitting and trying to think about why, my suggestion would be start writing. When you're trying to uncover what these fixed beliefs are, you just have to get through a couple layers of the surface story before you get to it. So if you have some of those stories that you might have been telling yourself, the second thing I'd like to ask you is, where do you think they came from? Is there some evidence of that story being true? Another area of your life that you had an experience that proves to you this? Or is this something that someone has told you? Or is this something And I'm going to ask you to write down the thing that you've been afraid to write down, and you've been hoping I'll stop talking and stop asking you questions so that you don't have to look at this. But it's nagging right there in the back of your head. So if you were to go through this exercise, and this applies to any area of your life and business, and write down all of the possible stories and all of the thoughts that have come up and all of the things that have held you back. Typically, you can weed through all of those and get to one villain origin story that kind of led to that spiral. It's one occurrence, one thing that you observed in your life, one failure, either of your own or something that you witnessed and thought, oh, I never want to have that happen, that sort of led to this pattern of thinking and has built all of the other stories. And the thing that's helpful about doing the work to really get to that kind of core story is that it's sort of like when you handle a client's true objection, then you don't have to deal with all of the crap fake objections that they threw at you because they didn't really matter anyway. If you can get to that core fixed belief, you're not going to have to do as much work to eliminate some of those other perceived fixed beliefs, because if this one isn't true, then none of them are true. Does that make sense? So I'm going to challenge you to take some time, you're not sitting in the room, and dig into that a little bit more. But for now, with whatever you would say that core fixed belief, the biggest one that you wrote down is, how do you go about challenging that? So that's a fixed belief. Sounds like it's one that's serving you, but it's just a belief. What else? How do you challenge beliefs? Yeah. So if there's something that you've been avoiding, you expose yourself to it enough so that you can.
feel like knocking on doors is a nightmare, then you say, well, how much knocking on doors can I expose myself to before I retract? And just go do that. If it's like
I love
one
that.
door,
Yeah.
one door, and then you ask yourself the questions, was that a nightmare? If it turns out it wasn't a nightmare, then maybe next time you can do 5 doors.
And even if it was a nightmare, did I die? There have been plenty of times that after I finished prospecting, after I finished working out, I looked up and went, yeah, but did I die? Okay, all right, do this again. I love being right. It is such a dopamine hit. Like, ooh, when somebody says, ooh, you were right, just shivers them. I love it. I love it. And yet, when I'm challenging fixed beliefs, a powerful question to ask myself is, what if I was wrong about this? So what if I was wrong about I'm no good at prospecting? So one that I hear is I'm just not good on the phone. I can knock doors, but you know, the weather's like this and I'm not good on the phone. Fixed belief. So what if I was wrong about not being good on the phone? Have I ever been wrong before? So then you can rewrite that belief. If I was wrong that I'm not good on the phone, my new belief might be, I'm discovering that I can have great conversations on the phone. And there's opportunity there that I hadn't found before. So it's looking your fixed belief in the face and seeing if this wasn't true, what could possibly be true. So Jeff.
A lot of people fail to recognize that they have that belief. So step number one is really just acknowledging, oh, wow, that's what's been holding me up is I have this belief. And then once you identify that, then you've got to reframe it, tell yourself about it. And then you have to change. I know my family gets irritated with me, but I have them do all the time. It's the language you use. You know, you get out there, your brain doesn't know the difference, and you're just going to continue to repeat the cycle. And I was guilty of it with a lot of beliefs when it came to reading or remembering people's names, and I would always speak that out. I read a book and I fall asleep. What do you think would happen? Right? When I recognized that that was a limiting belief holding me back, and I changed how I thought about it, it changed everything.
Yeah, recognizing it. And I think sometimes there's a resistance to recognizing these fixed beliefs. Sometimes we want to be scary, or we want to whole person. So I don't like to think about the fact that anything could be in control of me outside of my own design. And so acknowledging that there's something that's running me, and that it's not just my own choice. There's resistance to that, but really the first step is acknowledging it, and looking at your language, whether it's something that you're saying out loud, like, oh, I always fall asleep if I read a book, or whether it's that objection that comes up in your head when you go to make a call, or when Liza's presenting a strategy and you go, oh, that wouldn't work for me because blah, 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 blah. That's your fixed belief. That's something for you to identify and to take on. And then once you have that reframed belief, then giving yourself evidence of the reframed belief being true is essential. So taking action. So getting out there and doing as much as you can do, and then watching that amount grow. So if my fixed belief is that I'm no good on the phone, and my reframed belief is there's conversations on the phone that I'm so glad that I had, and I do a great job of finding people that want to connect with me. Then I get on the phone so that I can have some of those conversations, and so I can look at it and go, oh my gosh, I had that conversation, and I never would have met them if I hadn't picked up the phone. And bonus points, now I get to be right about my new reframed belief, and we have already established how much I really love being right. So you can get yourself your own dopamine. If there is any area in your life that you have strategy and you are not yet at success, this is where you need to look at. And like I said, we're talking about real estate. You are in a room where there is no shortage of strategy. Proven strategy. And so if what's keeping you from taking on that strategy is, oh, I just am so busy and overwhelmed and I'm going to get to that, but I have all of these things I need to do first. And I just don't have time. That's a fixed belief. If it's, I know I should be doing this, I don't know, really, I'm kind of lazy. That's a fixed belief. And the good news about any fixed belief is that you can identify it and you can reframe it. Thoughts, questions, takeaways? Anyone brave enough to share their fixed belief?
I'm going to back up and go to a takeaway. So I'm feeling like as I'm thinking through these, that I can see pieces of each one where I need to tweak. Like I go, okay, I need to make sure I'm taking better care of my health. I need to make sure that my mindset is right. And then I need to tweak my strategy. Like I can see areas in all three of them that I want to pay attention to.
I love that. Yeah.
Today, whether it's real, I want it to be real. So I pick one that my mom enthralled in all of us growing up is to make a difference. Be real with someone, and you'll be surprised how that leads to the conversation that I was afraid to have just by making a sincere compliment. I'll leave one with you. I think I've said it in here before, where I say, if you won't trade someone places, what you owe them is kindness, and that takes a lot out of it. So just be happy and share that.
I love that. I love that. And I love that reframe fixed belief. That's one that I have definitely leaned into. One of my affirmations is I make a difference in people's lives every day. And it is impossible for me to make a difference in people's lives every day if I'm not in the top. And so when I feel my fear about what's this person going to think of me, or am I really good enough to blah, 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 what's important to me is making a difference in people's lives every day. So I'm going to go talk to someone so I can go make a difference. Thank you for making a difference in my life today and for sharing your team meeting with me. This has been just really a great treat. And please do come and visit us. We are really not far away, even in the snow. And then we will be back here for all sorts of trainings in April. I think we've got wants and needs now. Oh.
I was approached by like 5 different individuals for an open house last week, and it was my son's 9th birthday, so I was passing on open houses. But just, you know, if you've got another one coming up this weekend, I'm happy to do it. Oh, especially if it's in Salt Lake County. Especially if it's in Salt Lake County.
But he does go as far as Davis County, I noticed. I have a new listing that I took on Sunday in Ogden. That's $350,000. It's 1,020 square feet, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, new roof, new appliances, new windows, new furnace, new air conditioner. They did strip and refinish all the hardwood floors, and they're gorgeous. But yeah, it's a remodeled house. So if you know of anybody in that price point that doesn't mind living in Weber County, this would be a great house for them.
So I've got 2. One's already live. It's out in Eagle Mountain. It's a townhouse, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. The great thing about it, there's a 3.6% VA assumable loan. So if you know someone looking to assume, we'd love to do that. It's priced at $425,000, and then I've got a listing coming up probably in about West Valley. It's a great single-family home, 1996 Rambler, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, updated, $565,000. So if you like that, West Valley, cheers. I also want to share one thing. So I just learned I had a buyer close last week, first-time buyer, and they bought. So out of Utah County, the city of Provo manages it, but they got a $40,000 grant down payment for them purchasing as a first-time home buyer. So the lenders were shocked. The builders were like, "We've never heard of this. It's done before, but it is managed." And of course, you have to qualify, but they were a young family and they did. So just say that to go out there and look. If you've got people, there are a lot of grants out there. So Utah County, just Provo managed it. They bought in Saratoga Springs.
Dr. Luminary. Well, I was just going to give a shout out to Amir and Tori and their team because they've been, because they're a broker, they have access to a lot of different loan products. They've saved me money personally. They've saved my clients a ton of money. If you have questions or are looking for kind of a niche loan program like that, these guys are in the office and like totally willing to research it for you and be able to give you a solution. That being said, I have a couple of listings. Our team has a few listings coming up. Our Fair Park listing is still available. It is remodeled, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath with a giant 12 by 24 shed that could be converted into an ADU in the back. That's on the market at $395. We also have a $1.1 million Cottonwood Heights going live next week. We would love to sell it in-house. If you have clients, please get with us. We'll see if we can get for this week. $1 million. It is a Victorian that has had a second story added, and there's a full ADU in the basement, and that'll be at $1 million as well.
Who works with investors? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up if you have an investor that would maybe like to buy a hold property this year. Okay, awesome. So come talk to me because I'm selling my first house I ever had at a discount because it's got a little bit of deferred maintenance and I want to roll it into something else. It's probably worth about $450. I'm going to sell it for $400. It's in Midvale. It's in really good shape besides a couple of the deferred maintenance things. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, great big yard, great neighborhood.
Who is that?
Roof and a HVAC situation. Liz Leonard Bear.
Hey, Robin, I just got to give you guys clarification on the luxury summit. That the very first one that's happening is happening at the Cottonwood Country Club.
Oh, Cottonwood Country Club.
Cottonwood Country Club. So my apologies for giving you bad information, but I got it right. All right.
I'm also looking to hold open houses more consistently here now that I'm going. Preferably Salt Lake County. Yeah, if you have anything that needs to be held open, please reach out.
I have a comment online. Can you hear me?
I'm Wyatt. I'm with On-Site Home Inspections. If you haven't heard of us, I am the owner of it. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the last 3 agents that have used us. Sydney Rosenblatt, Sean Erickson, if you remember the Delta inspection I did for you, and Ryan Shuput. I'm not sure how to say that last name, but okay, yeah. So just wanted to say thank you for that. And something I've just put together. If anyone needs it, you can come by and give me your email. It'd be totally free for y'all. I tracked the last 1,500 radon tests that we've done and test and showed the results if they're high or low. And so if you've got any houses that with any clients that are just wondering that if they want to see like houses on their street that have they want to see the results for that, I've got it. So
I have a buyer need, Salt Lake County or South Davis County. Needs to be at least a 4-bedroom, 2 bath, 3-car garage. Biggest thing is we have to be able to fit a 40-foot fifth wheel. So that's been our big issue is we're not finding enough space to do that in. and they would prefer at least 0.30 of an acre. Probably no further than West Bountiful.
I have a comment from online. This is Mark Robinette. I wanted to let everybody know I do speak Spanish. So if you are in need of a Spanish referral or open house in a Spanish area, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help.
Mark, Lee has your Girl Scout cookies.
I will be in Thursday or Friday.
Don't really have a fluent Spanish speaker. There are actually two, and Mark Robinette is one of them. So if you're running into that issue and need a good referral partner, I had asked Mark to let everybody know that he does in fact speak fluent Spanish and can help.
This is Bobby Venegas. I have a buyer with cash looking for a 2-bedroom condo near the university. He's looking to buy for his son and so 2 to 3 bedroom, around 500K, and want a garage.
I want to invite everyone to my 50th birthday party on Saturday. 50. It's going to be at Two Row Brewery on Saturday. I'll try and put some things up, but if you are interested in coming, just text me. RSVP is not necessary, but very appreciated. So I can get a head count for food. And that starts Saturday, 22nd, 7 to midnight.
On the open house chain, I just want to remind everybody that I am in Davis County, so I'm happy to do your open houses in Davis County. I don't mind Salt Lake either, but I'm trying to do at least one open house a weekend. So I can handle Weaver. I can handle Weaver if you've got something on Weaver.
Well, thank you to our team meeting sponsor that is here today. We've got the crew from Acclaimed. Do we have a mic for Nate as well?
Nate told me I get to speak today. So if you're here last week, you already know the answers to the quiz. So I've got a game we're gonna play. I've got gift cards to Starbucks for those who get it right. So first hand, Nate, you get to choose whose hand goes up first. You're on the hot seat. Okay, so got 5 questions for you. Number 1, since kind of basketball is my favorite thing, and we're entering March Madness, who is the number 1 overall seed for the March Madness bracket this year? Mike's hand was up first. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. Duke Blue Devils are the number 1 overall seed. There you go. I did not think it would last that long. Okay, so last week I talked about listing coverage. What does it cost to put a listing coverage home warranty on any listing you have? Nothing. Hands. Saw you first. Absolutely free of cost. Good work. All you have to do is shoot us a text message with your name, property address, and we'll put that listing coverage on. Absolutely free. It covers up to $1,500 while your property is listed. Super awesome way to save your homeowners in case something goes wrong during that listing period. Okay, let's go. What is the limits on our HVAC coverage? 1 year. So it's a dollar amount. What is the dollar? So with every home warranty, something super important to know is what your limits are on the home warranty. You are correct. With the claim home warranty, we offer unlimited HVAC, parts, labor, and units. So it's really awesome. Some of our top competitors out there have like between $1,000 and $3,500 with our coverage. So if something goes wrong and it's $9,000 to replace your HVAC, all of a sudden your homeowners might be left with $5,500, $6,000. With ours, we typically tell our people we'll cover up to 80, 85%. you're always going to have costs as far as like making your upgrades, contractors bring things up to code, but yeah, unlimited HVAC. All right. I'll walk all the way back here. You bet, yeah. What is, you guys don't even know this yet, so we're gonna, what is the promotion we have for next month? Close. Close. You guys have seen some of our banners. 2 years. No. What are we coming into? Spring. Free tune-up. You already won one though. All right. Your cleaning is about the tune-up. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Okay, last one. Who can tell me a really awesome experience you've had with a home warranty? Anybody have one they'd like to share? Go ahead. That's all right. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. So when you talk to some people, they'll sometimes say, oh, home warranty isn't worth the cost of paper it's printed on. I've heard that from people, and I absolutely disagree. I used to work with Nate back in the Landmark days. Now he brought me back with a claim that I've had a home warranty on my home this entire time. When used properly, it can save your homeowners lots of money. The biggest thing I think when working with home warranty company is, can I get a hold of my rep, and can they help me when the time is needed? So I really do feel like we have a really amazing product. We'd love for you to give us a shot and call us with any questions. So thank you very much for having us here.